Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. Chris here with another video, and we've got another random parts build here. A case I've had around for a ton of time that, yeah, I needed a case to build this machine in, so we're using it. You could almost say this qualifies as a sleeper build because there's a Core I believe, a Core I series system built into this, but obviously looking at the age of this is like at the very newest a Pentium 4 machine, so case at least. So it kind of looks like a sleeper build, maybe. I don't know if that qualifies. It's still pretty old internal guts, but we're putting together basic PCs here, right? So front end here, we've got a empty floppy drive bay. You can see here there's a blank here for an optional zip drive. Yes, it specifically says zip here, as if you were going to install a zip drive internally into this machine. That's how old this thing is. Power buttons with some LEDs, a reset button, a logo here from Venture Computers. I guess this might have been the company that sold this originally to whoever had it. We've got some front USB ports, and then I have an optical drive here. I didn't have any SATA-based optical drives that had white bezels. They're all black bezels, and the board that's in here doesn't have IDE in it. So we did black. It kind of matches with the dark gray, almost black side panels here on the front end of the system. And then if we flip around to the back, we have our power supply. We've got our system board here, you can see, which is a slightly more modern system board. We've got onboard DVI, we've got a whole bunch of USB ports in here, but we still do have keyboard and mouse ports in here as well. And then we are going to be using onboard video, so as you see, there's no GPU installed. Let's head to the top-down view and we'll take a look inside. Okay, here's our top-down view of the system. Obviously, you can tell the older case design, but everything fits in. There's lots of room to work with in here. So we've got our optical drive. I have a 2.5-inch SATA drive. It is 7200 RPM installed in here. We have our power supply, which is a 300-watt light on. There's a little bit of light corrosion that you can see on the edges of this, but I did open it up and visually inspect it. It's in great shape inside. Light on makes good power supplies anyway. This, I think, might have gotten pulled out of like a dead HP or Compaq machine. And then we've got the system board. This is a Gigabyte GA-H55M-S2V. So it's in good condition, and we've got a Core i5 processor. We'll see when we get booted up and check into it. Lots of expandability within this. It only has 2 DIMM slots. They're DDR3 though. We have two 2 gig DIMMs in here right now, and I believe you could get up to 8 gig or maybe 16 gig on this machine if you had the right memory DIMMs to work with that. And then we've got lots of SATA ports for other expansion if you needed to add more hard drives to it in the future for additional storage. Yeah, so pretty good shape in here as well. So I'm going to get this set up with the monitor and keyboard, and then the temp mouse, because I don't have a mouse for this to get donated right now. And we'll get it booted up and see how it looks. Here we all set up. We've got our tower here. We've got a Dell monitor, which has actually like a USB hub built into it that we have plugged in as well. And then we have our standard basic Microsoft keyboard, and then our temporary mouse. So let's get powered up. We'll turn on our screen, turn on our power. And there we are booting up. So saw that little splash screen there. It is a Core i3 550 processor that's in here. Anyways, let's get the camera moved in close and we'll get hardware info up on the screen to show all of our correct hardware specs. We get a little bit of noise out of the system. The system fan, I'm not sure if it's just it's not in good shape, or it's sitting at a kind of RPM right now when the system's not running hot enough that it's kind of in the like low to mid RPM range. It keeps like ramping up and ramping down. It's mildly irritating. And then the other thing I do hear, which I think may be coming from that power supply, is there is some coil whine in the power supply, which I've tried to fix in the past in other power supplies by hot gluing it, and you get middling results. Usually it doesn't do anything to help it. If you've got coal wine on the power supply, it just is what it is. You got to live with it, and try to ignore it as much as you can. Doesn't have any negative effect to how it operates, just the way that the insulation is not feeding off correctly. Anyways, specs. Core i3 550 processor. So this is a dual core hyper-threaded processor, perfectly acceptable for a basic Windows computer, even to today's standards, on that Gigabyte H55M S2V system board, which is, I think, a pretty good board. We're using the onboard graphics, the Intel HD graphics, as part of the Clarkdale chipset, I guess. 2 gig DDR3 memory DIMMs, so 4 gig of RAM in total. And then we've got a 500 gig 7200 RPM hard drive and that DVD RAM drive. So yeah, pretty decent specs. If we switch over to our CrabRave, we're running at 1080p. This screen is a 1280 by 1024 screen, so 720p would be the native resolution, so we're a little bit over that, but fully buffered on this. We will run our 1080p resolution video with 0 drop frames, as you would expect from even the most basic Core i processor. It's got all the up-to-date codecs to be able to handle this type of functionality for basic video streaming. So system is, ideal for the basic computing stuff that I try to build for these donation machines. So that'll wrap it up. Looking at this machine, all ready to go to donate. I hope you liked this video. Hope you're staying safe and healthy, and we'll catch you in the next one.